I recognize the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Carter, for his 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for allowing me to wave on to this subcommittee. Mr. Secretary, I've been waiting for your return to Congress. Last time we had some unfinished business. I want to shift gears a little bit, if that's okay. I appreciate my colleagues' concern about unaccompanied children. I share their concerns. But I have another concern, and it's about the Inflation Reduction Act, specifically about the prescription portion of that. You and I have spoken about this before at this committee as well as on the Budget Committee. And you have expressed and you've said it's your personal belief that the Inflation Reduction Act would lead to more cures being developed by the same pharmaceutical and biotech companies whose research and development you're fixing to slash. As you know, professionally, I'm a pharmacist, and I have seen nothing short of miracles as a result of research and development. And that's why this is so important to me. I've watched families suffer. I've seen children lose parents. I've seen parents lose children. And it's very important to me that we continue with the research and development and the new drugs that I've witnessed in my career, drugs that have been nothing short of miracles. And yet, again, you maintained and said at the last time that I had the opportunity to ask you questions that you believe that the Inflation Reduction Act is going to result in more cures. Whereas researchers at the University of Chicago said that the IRA will eliminate up to 342 cures over the next 20 years. The biotech research firm Vital Transformation predicts that up to 139 drugs will not be developed over the next decade because of the IRA, and that up to 49 treatments currently on the market would not have existed had the IRA been in effect. Even the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, our economists here in Congress, even they said that it's going to eliminate treatments and cures that would have otherwise been developed. We've already had drugs that have been pulled by pharmaceutical manufacturers as a result of this. And yeah, I know there's a pending lawsuit as well from some of the pharmaceutical manufacturers, and I'm sure you're aware of that. I know you are. I just have to ask you, Mr. Secretary, what makes you right and these other agencies wrong? I don't get it.
Congressman, thank you for the question, and I hope you'll agree that no American should be paying 2 to 3 times the price for a drug, oftentimes manufactured.
I understand that. I'm the one that was at the counter having to tell the senior citizen what the price of a medication was and watching them try to make a decision between buying groceries and buying their medicine. I'm the one who watched the mother in tears as she tried to get the antibiotic for her child, trying to figure out how she was going to pay for it. I'm doing everything I can humanly to bring down prescription drug prices, but I do not and I will not stand by while this administration, while this agency stops research and development that I have witnessed over the past 40 years in practicing pharmacy that has resulted in miracles.
Congressman, my response would be that increased competition helps stimulate more production, more innovation, and the more we can lower prices, the more we're going to have that competition. And so if we're ever going to get those prices down of those drugs that cost us 2 or 3 times more than they cost in other parts of the world, it will be because we're able to negotiate to get good prices and encourage not only competition, but innovation.
This is going to result, and you know as well as I do that you're missing. This is a swing and a miss. It's not, yeah, the pharmaceutical manufacturers need to do better, but you know that it's the middleman, you know that it's the PBM, the insurance companies that are doing this.
Congressman, when you have people who today are paying $35 for their insulin instead of $100, $200, that's not a miss. That's a win.
That's a win for the co-payments, but it's not going to bring down the price of the insulin.
Well, we just saw that 3 other companies have agreed to do the same thing for
with the copay.
Yeah, and that's great
Mr.
news.
Secretary, again, the CBO, all of the University of Chicago, all of these have said that this is going to result in fewer cures. What makes them wrong? Why are they wrong and you're right?
Congress, we know that if you stimulate competition and innovation, you'll have better drugs at a better price.
Do they know that? I'm sure they know that as well, but they are saying, and I'm just baffled by the fact that you're saying that you're right and everybody else is wrong. I was always taught.
I'm not-
Son,
I'm not saying I'm right.
when it seems like everybody else is wrong, you're the only ones who's right, you got to stop for a minute and think, you know, it might not be everybody else.
Congressman, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm implementing the law that Congress passed. I didn't say that.
No.
You all said that.
No. But you continue to go this route in this administration. Again, I have to tell you, I didn't come up here for some egotistical trip. I came up here because I was the one on the other side of the counter. I was the one who had to tell the senior citizens. I was the one who had to tell the patient. I'm going to do something about that. But I'm not going to let this administration, I'm not going to let this agency stop research and development of miracle drugs that I've witnessed in my career. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.